What's up, comic and pop culture fans? This is James with Mint Hunter Comics, and I had so much fun doing yesterday's 25 coldest keys of the market that I thought I'd do some more research, find another 25, and I actually found a couple that were even worse. In case you missed the rules of the first video, these are comics that have dropped at least half. Interestingly, you will definitely find that 90% of this list is Marvel. A lot of this sometimes is related to movie speculation. Let's get into it. Number 1, we have Amazing Spider-Man 328. Classic Todd McFarlane cover here of Spidey holding up Hulk in February of 22. This year, someone paid $304. Well, unfortunately, the recent sales, there was one that had 141. Quite the drop. Well, it's a 54% drop to be exact. Next up, we got Vengeance of Bane number 1. Hate to see this on this list because I think that is a really good key, but it reached a peak of $800 in March also of this year, 2022, and someone just paid $360. Never thought I'd see that book under 500 again, but 360 from 800. That is a 55% dump right there. Next up, and some of you were mentioning this one was missing from the first video. Well, here it is. Something is Killing the Children, cover A, book 1. Went for $1,110 as a peak in August of 21. Someone just paid $500 for it. And that book does appear to be on the decline, so that actually tracks. That is a minus 55%. Next up, we got Incredible Hulk 180. This book everybody woke up and remembered about this book. It's the actual first appearance of Wolverine in a very notable cameo on that last page. A 9.8 in June of 21. Went for $4,500. We're talking big boy money here. Well, it slid back down in a recent sale of $19,200. That actually is a 57% drop. That means that person paid 43% of what the person just a year ago paid for it. Whoa. How about a little Jessica Jones with Alias number 1? Peaked high in April of 21 with a sale of $500, and unfortunately, it slid all the way down to being a $200-ish book. Someone just paid $203. That makes that a 59% drop, meaning someone paid 41% of what the person in April paid for it. Man. Next up, one of the only few DC entries on here that have gone over half of their value drop. Green Lantern 201, first appearance of Kilowog. It reached a high of $746 in November of 21. Well, there was just a recent sale for $304, which brings that to a 59% loss. Now, I did get a 9.8 of this. I didn't pay that high, but I was somewhere in the middle. It's nice to see that book come back down to reality again. Venom Lethal Protector, number 1. $220 high if this was August of 2021, but it is instead almost 2023, and there was a recent sale for $90. That is a 59% drop as well. That means the person who bought it for $90 bought it for 41% of what everybody else was paying back in the summer of 21. Wolverine issue 27, classic cover here. It actually reached all-time highs of 415 in May of 2021. Classic summer of 21, guys. Well, there was a recent sale at 158. That brings us into the 60%. That is 62% less than its original counterpart. Someone paid 38% of what the guy just a year ago paid. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 1. It was a $304 purchase somewhere in May of 2021. People have come back to earth on this one. $102 was a recent sale. That is a 60% drop from its $304 counterpart in May. This one hurts because I know a lot of people fell for this one. Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16. I believe that's the first Monica Rambeau, isn't it? Well, that went for a high of $1,882 in May of 2021. Now, we just had a sale for a 9.8 at $6.13. That is quite the drop. A 67% drop to be precise. Rough, man. Masters of the Universe, #1. Now, I'm going to bring this up because it was in my last video too. Have you noticed a lot of the action figure related comics have taken big hits? G.I. Joe, Micronauts. This got a $670 high in July of 2021, whereas right now, someone just bought it for $203. That makes that a 70% drop. Someone paid 30% of what the guy who paid $670 did. That's wild. Next up, we got an Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, another Miles book here, #1. I don't know who paid this, but someone paid $1,638 last July 21, that is. Someone just paid $465. That is a much more understandable price to be paid there. That is a 71% drop, though, bringing that definitely into our top 25 list here. Next up, Batman 567. That's the first appearance of Cassandra Cain. This is a book that is one of the most turbulent DC books in existence. This goes up, this goes down. I've seen it for 100, I've seen it for 400. Well, someone paid $520 in August of 2021, and now there was a recent sale at, listen to this, $147. I think that is actually too low, and that brings it back to 2018 prices. So that's one of the few on the list that took such a dive that it actually went back in time a little bit. That is a 72% drop from that $520 high. How about Inhumans #5? That's another big one, that Yelena Belova cover there. Not cover, but for appearance. Well, someone paid $790 in July of 21. Well, unfortunately, we've got quite the opposite. Someone just paid $221, and that was only like a month or so ago. That is a 72% drop. 72%. That means someone paid 28% of what the book was going for a year ago. Pretty wild. Defenders #1. Big boy book here. Well, reached a very high of 11,400 in December of 2021. 1 year ago. Now, someone just paid $3,120. That is a 73% dip from before. Just 1 year, and it dropped 73%. I'm sure a lot of people thought that would be a great investment book, too. Weird. Raphael #1. Why are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books dropping? I do not understand. Well, a 9.8 sold for $9,310 in March of 21, whereas someone just spent $2,000. So, that is a 76% drop, meaning someone spent 24% of what the individual that spent the $9,000 did. Crazy. Next up, we got Silverhawks #1. Star Comics, we got $1,060 high in September of 21. Respectable, man. Some seller was made really happy with that one, I bet. Well, coming back to reality, someone just paid $250 for this. That's also a 76% drop right there. Man, these are some of the worst ones out there, I swear. A lot of books are down, but only like 10 or 20%. These are into the 70s and soon to be in the 80s, you'll see. Marvel Comics presents 72, with a high sale in May of 21 for $873. Someone just paid $188 for first Weapon X program book. That's nuts. 78% dive right there. And I know a lot of people fell for that one, so there's a lot of people hurting. X-Men Annual 14, the first true appearance, if you go by publication date, of Gambit. Well, someone spent $735 for a 9.8, and granted, the 9.8s are tricky, believe me. $735, June of 2021. Someone just paid $154. That's a huge drop. That's 79% drop, to be in fact. Wow, that's someone paid 21% of that $735 just a year ago. Immortal Hulk number 2. This once had a high of $451 in March of 2020, not 21, 2020. And now it sits at a recent sale of $104. So that tells me that is a 80% drop. What's that, Dr. Fry, Dr. something like that? Couldn't really tell you why that dropped so much, but we are in the 80s. When you're dropping 80%, we're getting ridiculous. Really think about that. That's 20% of what that book was before. Savage She-Hulk number 1, which is going to start our bottom 5 here. And that went for close to $2,000. $1,950 in May of 2021. There was just a recent sale for the first appearance of She-Hulk for $395, which brings us to an 80% drop on what a lot of people would consider to be a mega key. Bringing it back to Wolverine, we got issue 41. Classic saber-tooth Wolverine cover here. It has some small key significance, but I do kind of forget what that is. I apologize. Well, it had a July 2021 sale of $156. Really respectable. But now it's the opposite. Someone just paid $30. And while that may be a fluke, it is what it is. And that is a 81% drop from what that book used to do. So 81%, that has to make our top or bottom 5. Another Eternals book. Eternals 3. What's that? First Cersei? I think so. Well, it had a high. And I don't know the poor bastard who paid this, but in June of 21, someone paid $1,595. Maybe they thought she was going to be the next Wolverine. Who knows? Well, there was just a $266 sale like a month ago. That is an 83% hit from that $1,595 price. What a deal. Man, I would have bought that for $266 had I seen that. That's crazy. And to top off our list, both unfortunately Spider-Mans. Here's our top or bottom 2, however you want to look at it. ASM 344. This has got the Carnage curse all over it. That's the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy. Anything Carnage is massively down, as you probably saw in yesterday's video. This is one of the worst ones. He had a $764 CGC 9.8 sale in April of 21. What if I told you that there was just a sale for $114 CGC 9.8? I double checked. And that is a 85% drop. Who got that for $114? That's crazy. You guys think that book's going to go down even further? I don't think that's possible. Oh, man. Shall we get to number 1? Also ASM. Also Curse of Carnage, man. Amazing Spider-Man 360. No, I didn't say 361, I said 360, which ironically is technically the actual first appearance of Carnage. He's got a whole page for him. This book suffers from underwhelming cover syndrome, and it's a little bit too busy of a cover. Maybe that's what hurts it. But someone paid $800 in April of 2021. That is its high. Someone just paid $800 in April. Someone just paid $66 for a CGC 9.8, which means that they paid 8% of what the dude in April of 21 paid. That is a 92% drop, my friends. Anyway, just a little extra market craziness for you here. Don't forget to check out the first video if you missed it, and as always, keep on hunting.